So why do we have gaps in our wireless coverage? It's really two phases that answers that question. And 3 or 4 years ago, we had gaps in our coverage because, quite frankly, we didn't have as much wireless infrastructure in place to provide the coverage that you needed. But what's happened is we've had this confluence of events, the release of the iPhone in 2007 and the release of new technology in the wireless industry that we call 4G LTE. And when you look at the combination of those two events, instead of using the device that we used to call a phone as a phone, we're using it for texting, video streaming, watching sporting events, doing email, and other data applications on these devices. And so what has happened is that that capacity requirement for the network actually shrinks the overall coverage of individual cell sites in the network, creating gaps. And those gaps are the things that my company, ExteNet Systems, is designed to fill with distributed networks. So what we do is we actually put antennas and radios on telephone poles, street lights, traffic lights, connect them with fiber optic cable, and then backhaul all the cellular traffic to a central location where we hand it off to the wireless carrier's network. And we can build these networks to handle all the wireless carriers and all the different technologies they may have in their network. Our main paying customer is the wireless carrier themselves. They're actually leasing capacity on the networks that we build for them. But we also look at it more broadly. We view the communities as important constituents for what we do, because we have to be careful and sensitive to the aesthetic issues when we're deploying these networks to make sure that we're doing things consistent with how they view their own communities. And then venues are also customers of ours, sometimes paying customers, because what's happened is people want to be able to use these devices both outdoors and indoors. And we've got one other very interesting project that we're doing right now here in Chicago, which is to provide a 4G LTE service in the CTA subway. So we're partnered with Aldridge Electric right now, and we're building out that network as we speak to enhance rider experience and productivity while they're on the trains. Right now, what's happening in the industry is 77% of the population today in the U.S. has a smartphone. The projection for the amount of data that is going to be pushed through the wireless networks is going to grow tenfold, almost a 60% compounded growth rate over the next 5 years. And of that traffic, probably 70% of it's going to be mobile video. So you can imagine the capacity impact that that's going to have on the wireless network. So you're going to have to continue to add additional capacity to the network to fill those gaps, to add more capacity into the network, given the spectrum positions that the carriers have. And that's what we're designed to do.